I promise not to crush your toes when we dance. My steps have gotten much smoother since our prom night. Amelia glanced at her small hand in Charles's palm and quickly pulled it away as she realized something. She only wanted her hand to be held by Javier, and it was the prince who she wished had asked her to dance, not Charles. Seeing that Charles was waiting for her response, Amelia delicately and deliberately chose her words. Charles, I'm glad you and Sophie are over, because you do deserve better. But I'm not the same girl I was back when we were together. A lot has happened in the last few years, and even more has changed in the past few weeks alone. So, I'm sorry, but I can't share a dance with you. Not in the way you want. Please understand that I only want to be your friend. Charles gazed down at his now empty hand, and a sadness flickered in his eyes. But he didn't let it show.
Of course. I understand. Did you see Miss Sans in there?
Amelia shook her head no, as if she hadn't heard. He looked into her eyes, serious.
She was just in the ballroom sharing a slow dance with the prince.
The thought filled her chest with a bitter ache. After a long pause, she forced a smile. What a shame. I missed it because of work. Charles studied her face intently, then hesitated before saying,
They're going to be married, Ames. So just take care of yourself, you know?
He knew he didn't have the right to tell her not to get involved with Javier, but he also didn't want her to burn herself on someone unattainable, only to end up broken beyond repair. Her smile didn't falter, but he noticed her hands clench when he said it. I should get back, Charles. There's still more work to do. You should get back to work, too. Charles watched Amelia's retreating figure, wanting to say more, but no words came. The rest of the evening, all anyone could talk about was Javier and Paloma's fairy tale slow dance. And once Amelia got home and into bed, Charles's words echoed in her head as she tossed and turned. They're going to be married. Amelia had told herself she'd stop overthinking things with Javier and let herself indulge in their attraction to each other. But the specter of Paloma Sans made that difficult. She didn't know if she could keep giving pieces of herself to Javier, knowing she couldn't keep him. The next morning, at the breakfast table, Max's wide, innocent eyes stared at Amelia as he took a bite of his toast with orange marmalade.
Mom, why are you in a bad mood?
Amelia forced herself to perk up and kissed his little forehead. Who said I'm in a bad mood? Max straightened in his chair.
Is it because you still don't know what to get Dad for his birthday?
With a warm smile, she tried to steer him away from the topic of her bad mood. You know what? I think you're right. I do want to get your dad a gift. That'll be special. But after seeing that mountain of presents he got at his birthday banquet, I can't figure out what to buy him that he doesn't already have. Max scrunched his nose, thinking.
Well, if you don't get him a present, he's gonna notice. I know he seems tough, but Dad is kind of a diva. So you've gotta think harder.
Amelia chuckled, though she felt bad that Max was spending so much energy worrying about his parents when it was their job to worry about him, not the other way around. I will. But you know which present is going to hold the most special place in your dad's heart? The one that comes from his most favorite person. You. Amelia booped Max on the nose and kissed his forehead. Now, go wash your hands. It's time for school. Determined to buy the prince an excellent birthday gift, Amelia found herself roaming a huge luxury mall as she dropped Max off at school. The air smelled of expensive perfumes, and the windows sparkled with stylish brands that reminded her of her limited budget. As she walked through the mall, she wondered what would suit someone with such high standards. His closet was filled with custom-made, tailored, designer clothes that couldn't be found at a retail store. After a moment, she spotted a sleek black shirt that had a simple but handsome elegance, just like the prince. And when she picked it up and felt how soft and dreamy its material felt to the touch, she knew it would add something special to his already impressive wardrobe. This was the one. Just then, she received a text. It was from Charles.
Hey, FYI, our office just got word that your dad's hospital has eased up its restrictions on visitors. Starting today, they're allowing afternoon visits from family.
That's amazing news. Thanks, Charles. I'll stop by to see him this afternoon.
If you need a ride there, I'm headed that way soon to accompany an ambassador who is also going to visit family.
Since things were still a bit weird between them, Amelia decided to decline Charles's offer for a ride because she didn't want to give him the impression that they could be anything more than friends. Thanks, but no need. I'm at Pine Grove Mall, so I'm planning close by. After sending the text, Amelia returned her focus to the perfect shirt she'd found. She winced when she caught sight of the price tag. It was worth 2 weeks of her salary. But since she was no longer paying rent, now that she was living with Javier, she decided to bite the bullet and splurge for the prince. Then, just as she approached the sales counter, a familiar, obnoxious voice caught her attention nearby.
It's so hard to get a hold of you, Miss Popular. I can't believe this is the first time I've seen you since the Canada tour.
Amelia turned her head slightly and saw Sophie entering the store arm in arm with Paloma, who didn't seem as excited as she was about the encounter.
I know. There's always so many people to catch up with in every city,
Paloma replied. Amelia's chest tightened at the sight of this unexpected duo. What are the odds that the last 2 women I wanted to see here today know each other? She quickly took the shirt to the register, hoping to leave unnoticed. But Sophie's sharp eyes landed on her. A sly smile spread across her face as she dragged Paloma toward Amelia.
Let's check out this store, Paloma. Didn't you say you needed a birthday gift for your boyfriend?
Amelia turned to the saleswoman and offered an apologetic smile. Sorry to rush you, but I'm running a bit late. Would you mind ringing this up quick for me? But it was too late.
I never thought I'd run into you here, Amelia. With your tax bracket, wouldn't the budget mall suit you better?
Unflinching, Amelia locked her gaze on Sophie and pushed right back. Didn't your job just fire you, Sophie? Without an income, I think you're the one who can't afford a shopping spree right now. Sophie's jaw ticked with fury over the reminder that Javier had gotten her canned. She then noticed the men's shirt Amelia had passed to the saleswoman.
Is that for your boy toy? It's a bit desperate to bankrupt yourself on a shirt just to impress him.
While Sophie worked at getting under Amelia's skin, Paloma was quietly studying Amelia's face. There was something familiar about her. After a moment, it clicked. She was the pretty maid who Javier was overly concerned about at the villa. Where do you 2 know each other from? Paloma asked Sophie and Amelia. Sophie laughed, looping her arm around Amelia in mock gesture of sisterly affection.
Oh, she's my sister.
Amelia quickly brushed Sophie away from her. Stop, sister. But I wouldn't describe us as a family. So if you'll excuse me, I do need to pay and leave. While Amelia turned back to the saleswoman, Sophie didn't let up.
Paloma, you'll never guess where my sister is living right now.
Paloma raised a cool eyebrow.
I already know. She's staying at the palatial villa.
I saw her there. Paloma spoke casually, but on the inside, she felt a sting of jealousy over the memory of how the prince doted over this maid. Now Paloma was itching to pull a power trip over this girl. So Paloma pointed to the shirt Amelia had placed on the counter. This shirt would pair great with the custom designer Italian watch I bought my boyfriend for his birthday. He spoiled me with gifts last week. It's only right that I spoil him right back. Don't you think? Should I get him the shirt, Sophie? Just then, the saleswoman chimed in. I'm so sorry, ma'am, but this is the last of these shirts that we have available. Sophie gave a devilish smirk. Oh, but it's perfect for your future fiancé. You just get it from him. Paloma proudly told the saleswoman. I'll pay 5 times the price then. I doubt your other customers here can afford that. The saleswoman tensed and politely said, I'm sorry, miss, but store policy only allows us to sell the items at the listed price. Amelia, you should let it go. Paloma will stop at nothing when it comes to spoiling her man. Not in the mood to be toyed with, Amelia's gaze turned fierce as she shot back. Huh, that's your speciality, isn't it, Sophie? Stopping at nothing? You pulled a pretty vile stunt to trap Charles. Sophie's face suddenly paled and her smugness evaporated, embarrassed. Allow me to help speed this process along. Refusing to back down and eager to be done with these bullies, Amelia surprised everyone when she strode behind the sales counter and proceeded to ring herself up, flustering the sales clerk. Finally, Amelia's total came up on the screen and she swiped her credit card. Like I said, I want the shirt, so I'm buying it. Sophie's face contorted into a scowl. Hey, Paloma, want to know who she's buying that shirt for? Because I can tell you the name of her secret boy toy. But before anyone could say anything, a man's voice sounded behind them. That would be me. Sophie recognized the voice without even turning around. It was Charles. Paloma's eyes narrowed as she studied him. We met last night, didn't we? You're one of the translators who works for Javier. Charles nodded politely. Miss Sans, it's a pleasure to see you again. He then pointed to the shirt in question. Amelia chose that shirt for me. I hate shopping and I love her taste. So I asked her to pick something and surprise me. Paloma arched a brow. So you are her boyfriend. Before Charles could respond, Sophie's voice rang out, shrill and filled with emotion. Charles isn't her boyfriend. He's my fiancé. Charles furrowed his brow and coolly corrected her. Ex-fiancé. Paloma blinked, momentarily stunned before laughing softly. A complicated love triangle, I see. She shook her head, then feigned boredom. I'm over this store. We can go now. Enjoy the shirt, Mr. Dawson. As the saleswoman put the shirt in the bag, Amelia allowed herself a small smile of victory. Charles glared at Sophie, then took the bag and led Amelia out of the boutique. As they walked away, Sophie's tear-filled eyes followed them, burning with jealousy and disbelief. She expected that interaction to end up with Amelia's humiliation, and yet somehow, the humiliation ended up being her own. To find out what happens next, download the Pocket FM app in the next minute to get free access to all episodes of The Royal Accident for free.